I think.
Today is Tuesday, November 19th, meeting of the Berlin Board of Health being conducted via Zoom. Anybody who wishes to speak will be given that opportunity. The meeting is being recorded so people can review it after the fact and provide any feedback as well after the meeting. And this is all under the auspices that we've been working for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, I guess. So
Four. Wow.
with that, we may continue. The first thing I have on the agenda is tobacco sales permits.
Looks
We
like there's
have
4 of them.
applications for Noria, one for Energy North, one for Oriental City.
Yep, I've got all those apps.
There's actually
Donna,
2.
I think,
two
has the
Fenoria.
fees, and
Yep.
I'll draft those and let you know when they're there for signature, Paul.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, that works.
There's one for Riverbridge Shell as well.
Yeah, that's the other.
Yeah, that's
That's one with
Noria also.
Noria.
There's
Okay.
Noria. What about Danielle's Packy? Is this up to, do they sell cigarettes still, or they sold
I
it?
think I don't know if they sell, but they're usually slow in getting us.
Oh.
In fact, they still owe us for last year. So in
Yeah.
past years, we've hit them for the previous year's fee and the
Right.
current fee when they finally come around to it.
Oh, because they've sold that Berlin location in
Oh,
Hudson.
they did? Oh, that's
Yeah,
right, too. Yeah.
All but two, the only two now, Bolton and Harvard, I guess. But
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So those are all set for.
Yep.
Okay. All righty.
Permits, 165 Lyman requiring a deed restriction.
I guess I can kind of speak to that.
Okay,
So the gentleman who owns the house came in with his house plans. Unfortunately, I just didn't figure it out, Bill. I couldn't upload them because there's not a button to upload stuff from our perspective.
On Viewpoint,
Yeah, for us, I couldn't get it to.
if it's downloaded properly, you just, I mean, it sounds like it maybe wasn't downloaded properly, because sometimes I can't open things either. I just have them send them in again.
Oh,
Well, what I did was I got the actual physical plans. I think
Okay.
that's the gentleman whose hand is up.
Yep.
So I looked at the room count because I think that's what it was. They were looking to the basement plans are up there, but the existing house plans I have here.
Yep.
And they kind of show there's a couple rooms over the garage. There's looks like 4 or 5 rooms depending how you parse it out on the first floor, so 7, and 2 more rooms upstairs in the main house. So it looks
Yep.
like there's 9 rooms in the existing house, 4-bedroom septic system,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my understanding they want to finish the basement.
Yep.
So that's where the deed restriction comes in.
So they need a 4-bedroom deed restriction.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Let them work it through.
Okay,
Um,
we can hear you.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes, I know you can hear me.
okay.
What I was trying to say, we're trying to make a half bath in the basement.
Is that going to require a sewage ejector pump? If so, we need to see the
Yes, and I
specifications.
send the information through the website.
Okay. So do you mean you sent it to the Berlin Board of Health email or on the Viewpoint application?
A viewpoint application.
Okay, I can take a look at that.
So that's requiring an ejector pump, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
So normally we do require that deed restriction to be recorded prior to moving the building permit application forward for the Board of Health.
So we need to confirm the ejector pump specifications and so forth, correct, Bill?
Yes, I require those also prior to approving that in Viewpoint.
All right.
So that's something I can review on
Yep.
Viewpoint, and once the deed restriction's recorded, that has to be downloaded onto Viewpoint, and then we can move it forward.
Okay. Does the applicant understand?
Yes.
Okay. So we can't take any action on that tonight until there's more detailed review of what is going to happen and what equipment is going to be used.
Okay.
Do you approve the use of the deed restriction so we can move forward and get that recorded?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
I
it's
do, I
on,
do approve
Paul.
that, yeah.
The deed restriction just needs the Board of Health's okay.
Right,
Um,
yep. And the plumbing inspector will have to be informed if the ejector pump is in compliance with
Yes,
regs.
the plumber is gonna be taking out a permit and he's gonna explain to the plumber inspector what he's gonna do. And it'd be up to him to approve it or not.
Well, right, but the Board of Health also has to approve the ejector pump equipment.
Okay, yeah, I already sent the information, so
Okay,
take a look.
I just want to make sure we're clear, that's all. We don't
Yeah,
need.
no, of course.
Yep. Okay.
Uh, Anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think that's fine for right now.
All right, thank you for your consideration. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Welcome.
28 Barnes Hill, a permit for a tank and a D box.
Yep, looks
Do we
like,
have, do we have information on that?
so Title V came in, I guess that's where,
Okay,
Curtis had applied for the replacement of both the tank and the D box.
was that just because of condition, or was that partially an upgrade to a 1,500 gallon tank?
I think it's part of a sale. I'm guessing because it's been a while since I looked at that.
It's probably, what is it, Jim, a conditional pass needing a tank and a D box?
Yeah, I'm just gonna check real quick at our Title V's here so I can give you a better answer.
Okay,
And after this, Paul, I have a new business item I'd like to do before we do the discussion.
okay,
And that is 359 Randall Road for a D box permit. And I believe Jim has the drawings.
So to get to 28 Barnes, that was a Title V that was done in June. The
okay,
inspector reported that the tank and D box needed to be replaced.
okay.
Okay.
That was the Sandini residence, wasn't it? I'm quite sure.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Sue, 359 Randall.
So let me give you some background on that. Title V inspection came in October 7th. They mentioned that I'm just looking at here, what needed to be replaced? D-box and septic tank needed to be replaced there. I had a question on the Title V. It's right next door to another one that had pretty high water table. So I asked the gentleman who did the inspection to have some soil evaluation done so we could make sure that the leach field wasn't in the water table. Waiting to hear back from him. He said he had a soil evaluator go out and actually take a look at it, somebody we know. So we're waiting for that upgraded Title V inspection. But again, I don't know when your meeting schedule was, so I asked Sue if this could be on the agenda, so you could have, if the Title V comes back with the right information, that you would, that they'd be able to move forward with the work that they need to do on that site.
Paul and Bob, how do you feel about that?
As long as Billy's all right, it seems fine. If it's gonna be upgraded, we do any upgrades, a good upgrade, I
Well,
think.
based on Jim's description, it sounds like if the soil evaluation shows that the system's not in groundwater and therefore it's a conditional pass, not a fail, would the board allow the approval of that permit between meetings, if that's how the timing works out? If the soil evaluation shows that the system's in groundwater, it would be a failure and they'll be taking a completely different route with soil testing, plan design, permit.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
question before the board is, could that permit be conditionally approved tonight pending the soil evaluation results.
Pending on those results, yes, I think.
I'm okay with it.
I agree.
Okay, so we'll wait for that updated report to come in.
What was the number of that house on Randall? Excuse me.
359.
359. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And
That
Mr.
brings us to discussion of 311 South Street, well variance.
Sue,
Oh,
just ask, I had one other permit that was sitting here, and I'm not sure if in between the times where Bill and I were at meetings, it was for 55 Peach Hill Road. Again, it was one of these, it's a D box that needs to be done. So whether that, I don't know if that got approved in an October meeting. I just wanted to make sure that it was okay. The contractor was looking to do that. And I believe that was also another Title V inspection. Let me just check. Peach Hill 55. Okay, so I don't see that Title V. So I'm not sure what the reason why we got that that request to do that. So
I remember seeing it on the list of permits, I think.
okay,
On
I
a
just
previous agenda, Sue?
Yeah, hold on, let me
I
go.
think it might have been.
I just want to make sure it gets the contractor's calling about it today, saying, "Hey, when's that going to be ready?" And it's like, let me see. I have a meeting tonight.
You guys lucked out. I didn't get to my desk. Otherwise, it would have ended up in the trash. We discussed it on September 20, the meeting after September 27th. So that would have been October 2nd, maybe?
10-1, October 1st.
And that's the date
somewhere
that's on the
around
permit
there.
that's typed. Yeah. Okay.
55 Peach Hill deed box permit, and I thought we had approved that.
Okay. I just didn't know, so I didn't want to move it forward if
That's okay.
Yeah.
it hadn't been.
Good. Thank you for checking.
Yeah. That was-
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. That's Anderson.
I love it when we
Yes.
keep things flowing and moving.
Okay, keep that in mind because after the 311, I got another one for you. So, and I literally got it today, so that's why
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's considered
Right.
new business. It's okay.
Okay, does that now move us back to 311 South Street?
It does.
Okay,
Now, I understand this is a well variance. We didn't have to post a hearing.
Correct.
According to Bill, he sent me a little note. I was so excited.
I don't know if the engineer's coming in, Sue. Did you get a plan on this by chance?
I think,
Did I?
Jim, you got a copy of this one, right?
Actually, I think there was a
Hard
pretty
copy?
massive email. It had the owner's request letter, a bunch of photos, and maybe
Right.
the
Yeah,
plan.
Yeah,
I
I
have-
sent,
I have
Yep.
a bunch of that information. So
okay.
one of the things, Bill, you had mentioned that they were changing the design from a 4 to a 3.
Yes.
So that plan is here. I haven't reviewed it, but
Yeah,
it's
so
here.
that I'll review for next meeting. Yep.
But they were looking to do the well location, the install the well. My understanding is, and I guess I got kind of two stories, that maybe he's working on the house and the well next door is being decommissioned that serves his house, so he's a little nervous about getting a well in so that he has water for it. Don't know any of that, but that's my understanding. So
I could weigh in, Jim. The way
Sure.
these lots were subdivided, it was one big parcel, 2 existing homes on it,
yep.
in the old golf range, the driving range. So basically, that property's been subdivided. So the well that served 311 South Street actually ends up falling on lot 2, which is a new building lot, a vacant lot. And this has already been approved by the board, quite a few months ago. So that proposed new house would use the existing well that's serving 311, and that's why
Oh.
311 has to put a new well in. So the plan that was approved by the board shows a well that meets your well regulation offset requirements in the back of the property. But again, I don't want to speak for the homeowner, but I guess because he's concerned about the length of the run from the house to the well, and possible ledge and disturbance of the whole yard along the way. So he's proposing a well towards the front corner of the property, which is less than, I think, 50 feet to the sideline and less than 50 feet to South Street.
30 and 15 or 17 to the property line for the abutter and 30 to the street.
Yeah, well, across the street would be considered as long as it's under 100, Billy.
Well, we'd have to verify
be,
that there's no septics across the street within 100 feet of the well, correct?
So the plan that Cornerstone submitted,
Yep.
they had like a well location plan. So they showed all these lots, and then they showed the systems across the street, the house and system locations.
Yeah.
And it looks like for 311 that he's all set for the location that I wanted to put it in.
Mm-hmm.
So
So then it's really up to the board if
they've
they
re-engineered the lots so that the existing 311 well now goes to the vacant lot in between 311 and the big White House,
Yeah, 299. Yep.
299.
Yep.
Okay.
So that was approved by the board, but they also showed a new well location on lot 2 if the board didn't allow that existing well to remain in use, because that ends up being, it's less than 50 feet to the new property line. But as far as I know, the board looked at all of that and approved it many months ago. Probably not fresh in your mind, but those are
No,
approved
it
plans.
isn't.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember us discussing it. They're going to
Yeah,
use.
Vito would have been in from Cornerstone
Right.
and discussed all of those lots at one meeting. Yep.
Yeah, they basically were going to use the old well for the new house and then put
Yep.
a new well in for the old house, right, Billy?
Yep,
Correct.
it sounds like.
I have no problem as long as they meet the regs or whatever.
Well, yeah, so tonight's request, though, is the approved plan for 311 South Street that shows a new septic system going in to serve the existing house and a new well going in. Again, the well that's shown meets your offsets, but the homeowner, the new property owner, would like to move it to the front for a variety of reasons that are in his request letter. But again, it's less than 50 to the sideline and less than 50 to the street. But there's no impact, I don't think, on the abutting lot or across the street.
No, it
Yeah.
looks,
And they're putting in a new septic system?
Yes. Yeah, that failed the Title V. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So they're actually putting 2 new systems and one for the new house also, right, Bill?
They would have, well, obviously the new lot has a new system going in, but
Yeah.
not a new well. Yep.
No,
But they do have to provide us with, well information for that existing well. They'll have to have a well inspection done, to give us depth, yield, all that stuff. Yep.
Okay, yep,
All right.
yes, right.
I'm good with all of that.
311.
Yeah, I think we can move forward.
Yeah, and I'll actually have this plan to the next meeting because the homeowner is having the 4-bedroom design redesigned as a 3-bedroom to save some money on installation, I guess.
yeah, and those
Yeah.
plans are here, Bill.
Yep.
Now, would that be a Presby, just by any chance, Jim?
I think it's a pipe and stone bed. I don't recall.
Yeah,
Pipe
it looks
and
like it's pipe and stone.
So
Yep.
currently there is a permit issued for that 4-bedroom system, but again, the homeowner's having it redesigned as a 3. I think the engineer probably designed a 4 in case someone was going to level the house and build a new one. But the existing house is small.
Right.
We'll obviously verify a room count, but he is redesigning for a 3.
Okay,
Okay.
So that is, are you, I don't know
We're
your
ready
process.
for you now, Jim.
So you approve the variance for that, just so in
Yes.
case he calls me? Okay, in case he calls me tomorrow,
Move
okay.
forward.
I don't know if the board voted yet.
Oh, that's, I just want to make sure.
Well, it would be
I
conditional
will
on the,
make a motion to approve the requested well variance for 311 South Street.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Aye.
I,
Aye.
And Bill, I put that information, that plan, a copy of the well and the septic systems across the street
Yep.
in that file. So when you open it up, you can see all
Okay.
the other, that's there too.
So,
All right.
yeah, I'm sure we'll be getting a well permit soon.
Yeah.
Application, yep.
Okay.
So I had a well driller, Steve Sontak, come in, and
Yep.
there's somebody on 99 Linden who is out of water. I guess he's bringing water to his house, and he's got barrels in the basement, and he's using a
Oh.
pump to pump it up to the house. So, they gave me a plan today, and the same thing. They're looking for, a variance to 32 feet to the front. The road line, the property line with the road. Looks like they can meet 60 feet to the other property line. So they'll be far enough away from their septic system at 99 because it's out in back of the house. The well's going to be in the front. The property to the left of them, their system's out in the back, so they meet the 100 there. The only little bit of a wild card is a house at 104 across the street. And looking at the GIS map, it looks like it's very close. I asked the well driller to stop by that house and see if he can find out where their septic system is. If you look at the GIS map, it looks like it's on the opposite side of the house than would be of concern for us in this situation here. So it looks like it would be 100 feet away. But with wells, I don't like to guess. And so unfortunately, I found the old permit bill in the basement.
Yes.
But we're still waiting for the as-built plan from 1974 for the system installation.
Oh, wow. That sounds like something I'd be asking for.
Larry had it signed off with a little note on it saying.
Very slowly.
I should figure out what grade I was in, 74.
Well,
And that would be Duffy's house across.
I think so. The name I saw when I pulled it up on the registry of deeds was what the heck was the name? Patterson. Scott and Holly. I think it was Patterson or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like it's been passed from family to families because sometimes I look for a Title V inspection. There's no Title V I could find on that one.
Yeah.
So I think it's been in the family since then.
It had, Duffy's has 99 and that's right.
Duffy's house.
Yeah. It was right. It's right after the railroad tracks on the right there.
Yeah. So Duffy's is the one who needs the new well.
Yeah. No kidding. That's an old house.
Yeah. And the one kind of kitty corner across the street, it's another old white house.
Parmenter, yeah.
But there you go, Parmenter, Scott Parmenter. That was the name. Yeah. We just didn't have anything in the file for their system. But if you look at the GIS, it's very overgrown in the front corner that we'd be concerned about. And where it's kind of clear is further away. So again, I asked the well driller to go down and see if he can verify the pipe and the system goes to the other side of the house, then I think we're all set. We're 100 feet from everybody's well, and they would just need the offset to the street line. So again, just given the fact that they have no water, I wanted to, and I got it today, and I said, well, I have a meeting tonight. I'll bring it to the board and see what their thoughts are. And
I wouldn't mind giving a conditional
Okay.
approval. I don't know how Paul and Bob feel about that, but if someone has no water, I think we need to move on it.
Yeah, it's kind of an emergency for sure.
Yep.
So I'll make a motion to give a conditional approval as long as we find out where the neighbor's septic is.
Well, yeah.
This is one of those situations where you got to do the best you can with what you get.
Right.
We've had historically we've had situations where we've been 2 or 3 feet off or whatever, and it is what it is when you're dealing with the existing homes. You got to keep people in their houses. This isn't about putting them out, so.
Yep.
And basically, it's upgrading and drilling a well, where this one is probably an old, yeah.
It may be in the house and it may be a shallow well.
Right,
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
If I heard the driller right, it may be a shallow well that's either close to or in the house. So.
Oh yeah, I spoke to Steve. I think it's in the house, in the basement. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 12-foot deep shallow well. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And this
Definitely an
drug has kind
improvement.
of got everybody. Yeah.
Time for 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then
exactly.
I'd like to propose a motion to do a conditional approval for a new well
I'll second
for
that.
the requested well variance.
I will second that motion.
Thank you.
All in favor? I have no problem. I would say yes.
Aye.
Very good.
That's all I have. And thank you for allowing some more stuff on there. So we just kind of cleaned it up.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
You
good
know how to
things up.
sweet talk me. That's all it takes.
And we got the Clarks all set.
We have a
Did-
few
yeah.
other Board of Health things, but they don't really involve Neshoba. So you gentlemen are free to pursue Tuesday night otherwise.
Okay,
I
and
will
I
take-
just want
Good
to
to see
let
you.
the
Bill,
board know.
one
yeah.
update, Bellevue Road has approached the building commissioner about temporary housing via a trailer.
Yep.
My understanding is that is something that could exist for about a year. The septic has been pumped and tank seems to be okay, so it's a question of connecting to the septic and also connecting to potable water. I don't have any updates other than that. I know one of the proponents has been in touch with Rich Hanks, and I haven't talked with Rich. I'll try and catch up with him tomorrow just to see the status on that. But there is apparently some movement, and I believe there are only 2 vehicles left
Wow.
to be removed.
Yay.
And that was of about 3 or 4 days ago. So
And when, yeah.
driveway is fundamentally clear to get vehicles in and out, which I think is important relative to fire department. So there's
Yeah.
been progress on the grounds. So that's
It's a
good.
good sign.
Bill
Paul?
would like to speak.
Was Tom issued guardianship? Like who's doing this work?
He
Tom
was
or
issued
yeah.
conditional or temporary, I'll use the word guardianship. I think there was another word.
Yep.
But yes.
Okay.
So I have had a couple conversations with him. He's still looking to figure something out relative to the clean out of the house.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, I would say he's not going to go with trauma services, but is going to look into other options, and that's something you and I may need to speak about.
Sure.
Get a little more clarification on what's possible.
Now, Bill, were you trying to say anything else?
Well, I'm here tonight virtually, and I will be in person very soon. So I'll let you know by text when I am in person.
Okay. Okay.
We are looking forward to it.
It's good
Me
to see you
too.
back.
Yeah.
And Jim did a good job.
Yes, I can't thank Jim enough. I'm not even going to try.
Well, just wanted to keep you guys all moving. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Honestly, we
Thank-
need Shoba's help. So we thank you, everybody from the Shoba involved.
no problem.
Same.
All right.
So,
Like I said, we've got a couple other things, but they're strictly local Board of Health things. So you guys can have a good night and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a
See you
happy
later then. Take
Thanksgiving.
care.
Thank
We'll
you.
probably
Yeah,
be
happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Several things.
Chris- Oh, no, I'm sorry.
We had gotten new rates from BP that begin January 1st, 2025. And they projected out 3 years. We have options for years 2 and 3. I had a conversation with them today saying we need to massage those rates and we need to get a quote from BP that aligns with our fiscal year, which is July 1st to June 30th. They provided calendar year rates and they don't help us out because there are substantial changes in the middle of our budget year. So how do we budget?
Right.
So what they had projected for January 1st was a haul rate of 180 up from 160 and a disposal charge from 115, I believe, to 135. And they agreed today that for the last 6 months of our fiscal year, beginning January 1 through July 30th, that the hauling rate would be 170. So they knocked 10 off there. And the disposal, instead of their requested 135, they agreed to 125. So it'll still impact our last 6 months of budget, but not as much as what was originally put forth. They're reworking the numbers so that we'll have something firm to go with from starting July 1 through June 30th, July 1 of 2025 to June 30th of 2026.
Yeah, we have to attach that to our budget submission.
Okay. Yeah.
What now?
The quote that they give, BP gives us, we have
Right.
to have something in writing from them and we
Oh,
have
right,
to
right. Oh,
attach
yeah.
it to the budget.
Don't have those numbers yet. I should have them. He told me today or tomorrow, so I'm going to say tomorrow. Maybe it'll be the day after, but I told him that it was imperative that we get those numbers because we're in the middle of budget season.
Well, I'm gonna say excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
There-
did,
there's-
I
there's
did
some-
actually
Go ahead,
guesstimate.
go ahead, Donna.
The first 4 months of this year, calendar year, the tonnage has been down. And the
good.
costs have been down. And all of last fiscal year, we never even hit the amount that we had proposed for this fiscal year. So I don't know if it's better management.
Well, we don't know how many people have gone to curbside. Do we have a sticker count yet for this year?
Yeah.
I could get to that. We're very close to where we were last year.
Okay.
Very, very close. And when we lost Phil's customers, we got more than half of them
Right.
back. But it seems like the volume's down so far these first 4 months.
Well, from a budget standpoint, that's in our favor.
Right.
What's happening, that's
Yeah.
that's
Right.
unknown. That is
Right. But I did send everybody the budgets. I emailed them, what was it, a Monday. So I don't know
Okay.
if you guys want to take a gander, because I did a separate line item for mattresses and I had to bump that up. Because we're
Okay.
getting a lot more. So the only one that I'm slightly concerned with the numbers would be obviously the transfer station. So
Sure.
just take a really good look at those and I can explain or we can tweak or whatever.
Yep.
But they're going up,
Yep.
you
Yep,
know,
they will.
and the other 4 were basically, not hard
Yeah. All
to
right.
do. So we just want to take a good look at that. Because I was doing the calculations on, okay, this is the first 4 months, this is the hauls, this was the tonnage, and I came out under of what we had even projected for this fiscal year that we're in now. So I mean,
Yeah. Thank you.
Also, just as a point of information, 75% of our trash goes to a waste to energy burn facility.
okay.
Great.
25% approximately gets landfilled. And the majority of that comes from the open top container. They crush it as much as they can, and there's material that goes in the open top that's not burnable, that gets separated on the tipping floor at their transfer station. But
Okay. Yeah.
the fact that 75% goes to a burn plant waste to energy, I think is reasonably positive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, I'm not gonna say it doesn't create any pollution, but at least it's not getting buried in the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It-
fundamentally, all our compactor loads, the trash loads, get burnt. And a certain amount of the open top get burnt. The recyclables, that's dealt with by a different vendor, so I don't have any information on that. That's just a pass-through from BP to the people that deal with those items.
And they're generating power with it, so it's a good thing, right? Well, I mean, so-
Yep, yep. First of the year, I'd like to implement, permits for any hauler operating in town. Commercial haulers doing curbside pickup, and Bobby, this is where I need your help. You've done this before, but we need to update because there have been some changes. And you're driving around, write down the names of the companies that are on the toter bins on the side of the street, so I
Yeah.
can track them down.
I'll try it. Yep. Yeah.
I've seen a truck in town every week that's Blazinski Hauling.
Yeah.
They're a new player as far as I'm concerned, or they bought somebody out. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I believe Harvey does some. I'm not sure about Waste Management, but in your travels around town, just
Yeah.
keep an eye out, and any that you see, they're probably on different days, but
Yeah.
it's just homework that we have to do. It's not going to generate a lot of money, but
No,
it will give us information of who is operating in town,
yeah.
and you know, we can get a annual permit fee of say $150 a haul or something to that nature.
Right.
You know, it's all dollars and cents. Anything we can bring in is helpful.
Sure is.
Donna, do you know when we're up next for something for the Powder House News? Or could you find that out and let me know?
We submitted it already, and it's gonna be for December. And then the next
Okay,
one I think
but
is
for the next one?
next
because-
one will be, I think we have to post it, I think, I wanna say February, cause I jotted down something about snow and ice, maybe.
Okay, because I've got some stuff I would like to put into the next one.
Okay, all right, if
Um,
you wanna just get it to me. Cause
Okay.
I've got it in my desk, but
All
I
right, all right,
wanna
I
say
can do that.
February. So,
And lastly, Sue, question for you. We have a box of cameras, I believe,
Yes.
that we purchased some time ago while we were trying to get connection to the transfer
Yeah.
station.
Right.
oh, right, yeah.
Can you tell me what do those go to a video record, or I mean, it's a lot, we've had them for a while, so.
I don't
expect
really
it-
remember. I'd have to look at the box, but I think they would go to a recorder.
Okay.
But since we didn't even have internet, they kind
Right.
of been sitting there gathering
We
dust.
did nothing with them, but it seems like we probably should be doing something with them, because in talking to Stan, we have several residents who are fundamentally known who seemingly like to avoid fee items, although they drop them off. And it might be time, if it's not too cumbersome to implement these cameras, that we do so.
See.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Be
you
a good
know,
idea.
People should be paying their fair share, and there's not a lot, but there's a handful that Stan pretty much knows who they are. They can remain anonymous, but I'd like to get information if we can.
I've been,
Well, I will go down and look at the box. How's that?
That's a start.
if it's one that doesn't have to run off of the internet, Sue, if it's just a cable one or whatever, Stan could keep it in his shack and you know, he's pretty good at directions and you know, if it's gotta be like,
We need to find out what they can do and then we can figure out how we're
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Right.
We're speculating in the wind right now, so it's a
Right,
waste of
right.
time.
Oh, and one last thing I'd like to add. I don't remember if I voiced this at our last meeting, but I found out why homeowners are always surprised by the our policy of you know, if you spend over
Upgrade,
50,000.
yep, yep.
Yeah. And that's because homeowners are not allowed to pull permits. So it's the contractor who pulls a permit.
Right.
It's no skin off of his nose if the homeowner doesn't know it until after the fact.
But we don't, as far as I know, we don't have a mechanism in place to even notify the contractor. And that has to be done through the building inspector, which is,
Right.
which is a conversation that I will proceed to have.
Yeah, I would, you know, in doing all the digging for like Judy Clark and stuff, I could
Yeah.
see how it happened. And then her builder was just making his own rules.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
some misinformation, some disinformation with her particular situation, and you know, it's
Yeah.
we need to try and tighten whatever loopholes. I'll talk to Leanne and Rich Hanks about some formal notification. We as a board may have to take a vote to make something official, not sure, but
And I'd
we'll
still like
we'll
to,
work on that to make it
and
better.
I'd still like to discuss the 50,000 versus say 100,000 or whatever.
The
Yeah,
threat,
or aside from dollars and cents, if there's other criteria that we should be considering.
yes,
You know, like
add room
hmm,
count or size and anything like that.
well, should a garage trigger it? I don't know. It's a major the cost of a garage today, it's a major improvement to the property, so maybe it should, but that's all part of a discussion that we need to have.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
And think about that stuff.
Somebody
Yeah.
smarter than me.
All
And
right, does anybody have anything else?
Just, we're having another town meeting, huh?
Yep,
I saw that.
There wasn't enough this year already, huh?
no, the warrant's out there.
Yep, I did talk to
I
Leanne,
read it, yeah.
about me being a backup for the, was it Permit Link? Is that the one in Berlin? Just to
Yeah,
keep
the
eyes on
permitting
it.
system.
Like if just like, so nothing went through the cracks, but now Bill's back, it may not be necessary. But she said, I think it has something to do with the email address and we only have one. So she said she may look into it, but I'm not, is that even necessary now that Bill's back?
I'm not sure I followed all of that, Donna,
Yeah.
so what are you asking if it's
I
necessary?
had asked Donna if she would consider learning the permitting system that Bill and the building inspector and everybody uses. Because when Bill was out, we were clueless what was
Right,
even
yep,
in the
absolutely.
pipeline.
Right.
And we're trying to figure out if we can do that.
Right. So,
But
but
I still think for the board, it would be advantageous if we had someone else who was somewhat knowledgeable. I mean, no offense to Jim, but when he was trying to figure out what was going on, he had copies flying out of that
Right,
printer.
right, yeah,
all
no,
over.
I don't think there's any question that we should, as our board via Donna or whatever, should be much more knowledgeable along those lines.
Okay.
You know,
I don't think it's a waste of your time, Donna.
Okay, I think I may follow up with Bill then, because if it's only one email address, I would have to just, I guess, know his login, because I don't think I could get a separate one. I think that was,
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it'll be a process. We do our
Yeah.
homework, find out what has to happen. It's
Yep.
not gonna happen overnight, but
Right. Yep.
we don't
Okay,
need
I'd
to,
like to make a motion
go ahead.
to adjourn this meeting.
All right,
I will second that motion, Susan.
all right, all in favor, Sue,
I
Bobby,
Aye.
all right, Paul, I as well.